and all the hipsters, all the, those chubby green-haired tundra Wookiees. They want to have abortions, but no one will sleep with them. Those. You're doing it because you're a filthy communist, and you're trying to unravel our society. Yeah, baby. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kevin Downey Jr. podcast, also known as Be Free, Stay Free. Thank you for joining us. It's Wednesday. Let's have some fun, baby. We got a lot going on. We've got Transima-Bobs trying to blow up GOP. We've got we'll talk about Epstein a little bit. I know you're sick of it, but it changes every hour, and we're going to get to the bottom of everything. This I swear. Now, first of all, you may have noticed there's a new poll out. Only 3% of the entire population is happy with where we are with the Epstein situation. Now, what is going on? I will tell you what I think. Two things we have to remember. First of all, remember, Yuri Bezmenov, Soviet defectors, said that part of their plan is to bombard people with fake information so they don't know what's real. They're not just doing that to the left, folks. They're doing that to us. It is possible. Possible. I'm not saying this is true. I don't know. I'm just a loudmouth on the interwebs and on the radio. I'll tell you about that later. But could be this whole Epstein thing is just not as big as we thought, as we were led to believe. Remember, what did the news say? The news has been talking about Epstein for years now. Well, we were also told Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian cod swallow. That came from 51 former intel specialists, all of whom have to be friends with, the globalists. They're all globalists. They're animals. And we were told all sorts of things that just were not true. Just were not true. Joe Biden, he's not a statue who poops his pants. No, he's fine. And those videos we saw, those are cheap fakes made by the evil GOP. That's who's doing that. All of which are lies. Is it possible that this Epstein thing just isn't as big as we think? Well, I don't know. Apparently, I've read Ghislaine Maxwell went out and somehow found 1,000 girls to go to Epstein's residences and do whatever. And they weren't all underage, but many of them were. Can this man really burn through 1,000 victims? I find that hard to believe. Maybe that number's off. Maybe that's a lie. We're pretty sure Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, and Bill Gates were probably imbibing in the evils of what was going on there. Keep in mind, they also called his airplane the Lolita Express. What a cute way. What a cute way to say pedophile airlines. Now boarding pedophile airlines. Now boarding for pedophile island. They're cleaning up the language for a reason, folks. Cleaning it up for a reason. If you control the language, you control the narrative. Remember, it's not abortion. Why, by God, it's reproductive rights and reproductive health care. And they're not trimming the wieners, snipping the wieners off of little kids. That's trans youth health care. Well, see how they soften everything? That's so they can slip it by us. Now, it is possible we have been lied to. It's very now I know. I heard he had cameras in all the rooms, and he was filming elites diddling kids, and he would shake them down. Very possible. Very possible. I did read that he made his money. He stole it. He swiped it. He was working at some brokerage house, and he stole something like $643 million. And then said, what are you going to do about it? You can't even fire me. You can fire me if you want, but you can't have me arrested. This can't get out, because Epstein knew when he stole it that the company couldn't do anything. Because what does that say? Hey, we lost $643 million of your dollars, clients. They would lose their clients. This business has been around over 100 years. I'm not going to risk that. That's how he got it. He scammed his way into a teaching job. He scammed his way into this brokerage house or whatever it is. And I'm hearing... I don't know. I'll be honest, folks. My fake news detector's going up everywhere. I'm hearing his $70 million apartment on Manhattan's Upper East Side was given to him. Someone just gave it to him. Here you go. Now, why would someone do that? Well, probably, I would think, because Epstein had the means by which to really, really ruin that person's life. And maybe that person's business, that person's family. I don't know. But I'm wondering now, were we lied to? It's possible. Because look at Trump. He's saying, I don't understand. I don't understand. Why is this a big deal? I don't understand. Let me say this. This is the second time. The Epstein thing is the second time Trump has lost, he's lost contact with his base. And what I mean by that is, do you remember when, after the clot shots had come out, and Trump was still pretty proud. Oh yeah, I got that off, I got that going. And then he would start talking about it. He said, the beautiful shots, and people would start booing him at his rallies. He hadn't gotten the message yet that we don't like the shots. We love you, Trump, we don't like the shots. And you might want to separate yourself from that. And then he heard, and then he stopped doing it. Someone said to him, Mr. President, stop talking about that. This could be what's going on with Epstein. He might think, to him, he might know that it was, Epstein and a couple of animals with him. And he keeps saying, I don't understand. And he's saying, look at these weak people on my side. Well, you know what? I wouldn't call me that. I won't. Mr. President, I love you. I almost went to federal prison for you. So maybe we can lay off that stuff. I will say this. He is killing it. And he probably hates. This one I'm pretty sure about, because he's done this before. He probably hates that people are focusing on Epstein rather than all of the things he's achieving for we the people. And he's killing it. He's just got another big, what do you call it? I think Indonesia just said we're gonna invest $67 billion. Folks, he's done more in 6.5, 7 months, whatever it's been, than probably any president in the history of this nation. This man is a powerhouse. You know what? If I'm hitting home runs, if I'm on the Yankees, well, let's say I'm on the Detroit Tigers because I'm from Detroit, and let's say I am hitting home runs all over the joint, and the press is focusing on the bat boy. I'd be like, what are you doing? We're having a big press conference. Look how great it's going. I'm killing it. Why are you talking to the bat boy? Who cares? Are you asking me about the bat boy? I don't know. No, he's killing it, folks. And I think what's going on, I think we're being fed bogus information because the Operation Mockingbird media morons, they want to separate MAGA. And that's all they're talking about now. MAGA's fractured. MAGA's at war. Civil war in MAGA. Civil war, man. They're going crazy. The red hats, they're fighting. They're throwing dukes at each other. I was at the America First warehouse, and it was a riot. None of that is true. We're not. Some of us disagree. Some of us are more, shall we say, involved in the Epstein shenanigans than others. Some people don't care. I got a text message today. A guy said, stop talking about this. I don't care. You talk about it on Live from Studio 6B. You talk about it on the radio. Well, it's a big deal to many. 3% of the population says, yeah, I'm happy with this. That means 97% are not. What does that tell me? Well, it tells me someone's going to go to President Trump and say, you know what? We got to deal with this. And someone already has. He has now come out twice to say, release everything. Pam Bondi, release everything that matters. Everything that matters. Now, keep in mind, you can't just spill the guts. Here's all the files. Everyone put it together yourself. That's not going to work. Imagine if, let's say a month after January 6th, someone said, look, here's all the names. Here's all the names we got. And no one knew anything. Well, you know what? I probably would have, Jessica and I would have been burned to death in our apartment. Look, insurrectionists, there they are. And we were never, we were investigated, but we were never arrested. Thank you, God. I don't know why we survived that. But we were peaceful. We didn't do anything wrong. Allegedly, if I was there. I'm not saying I was. I'm saying if I were there, allegedly. But imagine they just said, here's the 1,500 names. And people would go crazy. They would go crazy. Folks, let me just say this. Let me just say this. In some ways, we have not really grown that much. And by that, I mean in 1349, the Europeans were throwing Jewish Europeans into bonfires because they thought they brought the plague. They thought they brought the plague. Hey, you know, we've tried everything else. Might as well kill the Jews. Might be the Jews. We don't know. Now, a couple of Jews were tortured, and they were just beating the potato salad out of these guys, and they'll say anything to not be tortured anymore. And they say, yeah, we're poisoning the wells. But they weren't, all right? We know now where the plague came from. We know it killed Jewish people, and everyone, like 50% roughly, of Europe and parts of Asia died. There were two strains of the plague. One if you got it, you were dead. One of them, there was a 50% chance that you were going to die. No, more than that. I think like an 80% chance. I also heard if you get a DNA test, which I would never do, and I'll tell you why. If you get a DNA test, there's a certain gene they can tell if you're descended from someone who survived the plague. I would love to know that. I'd love to know that. But folks, why would you not get a DNA test? Well, imagine, let's just say you're a loudmouth on the radio. Let's say you've got a podcast. Let's say you're a good friend of the America First Warehouse, which you know they're probably got 9 drones over us right now. All right? And I'm talking about myself, a little radio show, a little TV gig. And, I write for PJ Media. That's not me bragging. I'm just letting you know you can go find my stuff because the more you read, the more money I make and the more bourbon I buy. But someone could say, we want to get rid of him. Well, we've got his DNA. It's in a bank. I know. Next time there's a murder, let's smear some around, see what happens. And suddenly I go to prison forever for a murder I did not commit. That is why I will never, ever give up my DNA. That is the reason, all right? It's not to protect. Look, if there's a killer in my family, I'll help you find him. I don't want him out there either. But don't give up your DNA, folks. China wants it. China gets it. And I know they say if you do, I think it's called 23andMe or something stupid, blah, blah, blah. Say, well, you can check a box that you don't want this to be public. Yeah, I believe that. Okay, I believe that. Folks, they're going through our emails. You think they're not going to go through your DNA? China is gathering our DNA. Why? Because they probably want to learn how to kill us. What's a good way to kill them? Well, we got their DNA. We can all break it down now. We can wipe out these horrible Americans. We'll start with MAGA, because man, oh man, do we not like those people, those filthy patriots who just sort of love liberty, privacy, the Constitution, and our guns. Folks, you are watching the Kevin Downey Jr. podcast. Be free, stay free. I've got so much more coming up. I've got something from my home state of Michigan that's going to steam your clams. We will be right back. Don't go away. I'll be here.
Who broke the television?
Gotta get to New Jersey quick!
Can we laugh at that? Sounds a little mean.
As of this month, public gay sex will now be mandatory.
Hardest. Am I the only one that could see his lips move? Cheekbones, baby!
I'm sorry, maybe I overreacted.
Corporate transfer, fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
Welcome, everybody, to the not-so-newlywed show, where 3 couples are going to compete for really great prizes. Okay, Donna, we asked Mike, who complained first on your honeymoon, you or him?
What do I think?
Yeah, what do you think?
I think he said...
Lisa, this ain't the SATs. Just tell us what... Donna, who complained first on the honeymoon?
I'm sure it was me, but I have no idea.
Donna is right.
No, it's always me.
What celebrity would you pick for a one-day pass?
For me?
Yeah, for you, not for him.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon! Wow! Who do you hate the most on her side? That rotten no...
There are so many choices.
Thank you all, and thank you for coming out.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kevin Downey Jr. podcast. Be free, stay free. You know, you can get a T-shirt that says that. Go to eBay, put in Kevin Downey Jr., and it'll come up. Get a little swag shop there selling Be Free, Stay Free T-shirts. Get yours. I've got them in patriotic red, and for women, we've got patriotic blue. Check them out. Check them out. Now, folks, I like to talk about the violence of the left because they are violent and we are not. Now, they'll never accept that, no matter what they do. No matter what they do, they'll never, J6, that was it, try to take over the nation. Obviously, I was there allegedly. I did not think I was going to take over the nation, nor did I try with a Trump flag or my arrhythmia. Those are weapons you don't really want to bring. Someone was like, it's a weaponized flagpole. Some guy had a weaponized flagpole, and he was going to kill people with his weaponized flagpole. Folks, a weaponized flagpole is, well, that's what we call a spear. That would be the preferred weapon of a caveman. You're not going to take over the United States with the weapon of a caveman. No one tried to take over the United States. Everyone was there to peacefully send a message. Some people got violent. They're probably still in jail. I don't think everyone got out. Most people were not. Some people were attacked and they fought back. Well, they got in trouble, unfortunately, because, well, that was part of the plan. That was always part of the plan. Yeah, always part of the plan. So most of the violence, if not all of it, coming from the left. I will say there have been two situations where someone in a car said, I'm going to run over these protesters. Now, I don't know if the protesters were harassing the car. I don't know. I'll be honest. If I had a bunch of pink-haired wackos with eyeliner pounding on my car, I'm probably not going to stick around. Probably not. Don't take that as advice from me. I'm just a guy who drinks too much bourbon, who happens to be on the radio and TV and the podcast and the PJ media. But 99% of the violence is coming from the left. Look at this from my home state of Michigan. This is in Iron Mountain, Michigan. That's in the Upper Peninsula. Michigan's made of two peninsulas. There's the Upper Peninsula and the Lower Peninsula. I lived in the lower, grew up there, and but I've vacationed. I've performed all in the upper peninsula. So I know it fairly well. Never been to Iron Mountain, tiny town. Anyway, looks like a 19-year-old decided he was going to burn down the local GOP office in Iron Mountain, Michigan. And this person is what they call gender fluid. Gender fluid. That's a transmobob of some sort. I don't. Gender fluid sounds like something that leaks out of my Subaru man-hater. I've got a 2011 Subaru man-hater. That's a gender fluid. Boy, you're leaking some gender fluid out of your lesbian mobile. I don't know. Or maybe gender fluid is something that leaks out of this guy's lady nuts. I don't know. Could be that. Can I say that? Okay, I guess so. Yeah, so little transmobob action. Decides he's going to burn down the GOP, and he can't light his Molotov cocktail. Molotov named after a Soviet, very violent Soviet, who said, "Hey, if we if we put something flammable in a bottle and throw it, well, we've got a bomb." They called it the Molotov cocktail. Molotov was a horrible human being. Anyway, Molotov and Ribbentrop, they're the two that. They had a little peace deal, like we're gonna invade Poland, and yeah. So I'm not a big fan. I'm a big fan of Poland, not a big fan of people who invade it. I speak a little Polish. I'll do that later. I can't. I can order golonka. That's about it. Order some bardzo smaczne golonka I buracki. That's beets. That means ham hocks and beets. Tasty ham hocks and beets. I think I just ordered. Martin will tell me later. I'll ask him. Anyway, look at this. So he can't get the thing lit. It's on a Saturday, so that's good. There are fewer people there to burn to death. But someone notices. The cops get a call. Hey, there's a weird-looking guy at the GOP, and he's trying to light something on fire, and he's throwing it. It won't. He can't get it lit. Then it won't explode. And he takes off. And much to his surprise, they pull into his driveway about an hour later, and they arrest him. And how'd you know it's me? Well, you're the only gender fluid within 400 miles of Iron Mountain. It's a tiny town up on the frozen tundra, you idiot. And that's how they knew it's you. They got him on camera. Look, hey, it's the guy with the long hair who he's fluid. He might be a woman today. He might be a woman tomorrow. We don't know what he is right now. Right now, he just looks like a tundra Wookiee way up there in the great white north. So he's been busted. And folks, I'm telling you, they are escalating their violence. What are we seeing lately? Well, we got this clown who tried to burn the GOP office Well, they were burning Tesla dealerships. They were wiping their bahookies on Teslas. And then they were fighting the cops in LA. That seems to have ended. I guess they're going somewhere else. Now, what are they doing now? And now that the rioting's done, what else have we seen? Terror attacks. We've seen terror attacks. They went after ICE in Texas. Remember, they lit fireworks to get them out and then started taking pot shots from the woods. And then that knucklehead in Wayne, Michigan, went to shoot up a church. Funny how that went away so fast. Oh, don't forget about the crazy train who started a fire in Idaho, then killed 2 firefighters and wounded more. Weird how that went away, right? Yeah. Weird how that went away. Weird how it went away when we found out he wears eyeliner and he's a brony. He's a brony. What does that mean? That means he's a bro who likes My Little Pony. Yeah, that's you know what? I'll be honest. I'm as MAGA as they come. I don't have any My Little Ponies. He had a sticker and everything, and he had something. I can't imagine a day without whatever his little ponies. I don't know. These are not MAGA heads, folks. Who lit the Jews on fire? What's the song? Who lit the Jews on? An illegal immigrant from Egypt lit some Jewish people on fire, killed a Holocaust survivor because he's an animal. He's an animal, and left doesn't want to talk about that. Doesn't want to talk. Well, he's not one of us. Yeah, he is. All illegal immigrants are the responsibility of the Democrats and the handful of rhinos who allowed it. That's not a MAGA thing. Who killed the 2 Jewish people in Washington, D.C.? Someone yelling, free Gaza, free Gaza. That's not us. That's not us. Folks, I don't know what the laws are where you are. Please consider getting some sort of self-defense. Self-defense. I don't know what's legal where you are. New York City, you can't even carry a normal pepper spray or pepper gel. You got to get the stuff from a store that they tell you to get it from, because it's sort of like, it's not very strong. It's like Johnson Baby. It's like Johnson Baby shampoo. No more tears. It's not going to hurt you that bad. So I'm not telling you what to do. However, I will say I happen to know almost every gun store in the world is selling pepper gel. It's better than pepper spray. Because spray, if there's a wind, it blows away. Gel is like silly string. It hits your face, then you try to rub it off, and now you just got it on more of you. And it hurts. It hurts. I accidentally ran into someone. I was practicing with it, and I was shooting the wall, and then I got close to the wall. I was like, and I never got any on me. Tasers, whatever you get. Tasers are dangerous because the person has to be right on you for that to work, but the sound is terrifying, and that alone may work. I accidentally tasered myself. You can see it. It's not much. If you go to YouTube and search Kevin Downey Jr. Childhood Home, you can see me go explore the house in which I grew up. It's overrun with weeds and probably people who enjoy a little crack cocaine. I did find it had rained the night before, and I'm walking up to the house, haven't been there in 40 years, and the windows are out, and it's a mess. And I see a little bottle of Hennessy on the walkway. Now, the grass is all wet, the cement's all wet, but the Hennessy bottle has not been rained on. So I go, uh-oh, there could be someone in there. Or maybe he left and dropped it. That's what I was hoping. And I'm not saying I went in with 3 guns. I don't know. Check it out. YouTube, Kevin Downey Jr.'s Childhood Home. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Look at this. We got more going on. I love this. So part of the big green bill or whatever President Poops His Pants called it, President Biden, he had this thing. He was going to make a fleet of green postal vehicles for the whole nation. 35,000 battery-powered U.S. postal worker vehicles, and they're going to be delivered by 2028. And they put some mad stacks into this, all right? And how many? It looks like after $3 billion, they said we got $3 billion. You got these, and they've got 250 in over 2 years. Supposed to be 35,000. The money appears to be gone. Where did that money go? That's what I'd like to know. Something tells me most of that money went to Democrats of one sort or another. I don't know. Maybe they're NGOs. Maybe they're just paying off all their buddies. That's what I think. Oh, your friend owns a vehicle. He owns an EV battery company. We got some money for him. He's all green. He's in on our side. Pass out the cash, folks. Pass out the Biden bills. That's it. Look at that. $3 billion. And that was from the Inflation Reduction Act. That's what it was. And 250 so far. We don't know where the rest of the money's gone. By golly, I would say check the pockets of, well, man, start with the Bidens. Start with the Bidens. What are they doing for money now? What are they doing for money? I don't know. I don't know. They have no influence to sell. They have no one to threaten. What are they doing? Well, someone's sticking his head out of the weeds. I'll get into that in a little bit. It's probably your least favorite Biden. I don't know. It depends. They're so dislikable. I don't know which one I dislike the most. It's you go Joe the globalist, Hunter the crackhead who took bribes. I don't know. There's really no one in the Biden family I would consider sending a Christmas card to, but that's me. That's just me. Look at this. Look at this. I'm telling you, Trump is coming back. Donald Trump, I shall read this in my broadcaster's voice. Donald Trump on Wednesday embraced the FBI's decision to open a conspiracy probe into a decade of alleged intelligence abuses and weaponized law enforcement, suggesting it could lead to a special prosecutor. That's what we want. And delve into what? Credible evidence in the Jeffrey Epstein case. Folks, he's coming around. All this is for nothing. He's coming around. Like I said, I was shocked by the disconnect, but I was shocked when he was still pushing the clot shot that none of us wanted. Remember, he was pushing that. We're all going, what are you doing? We're not a big fan of this. And then he finally stopped. I'm telling you, folks, we will get everything they have. I'm going to tell you right now, there's some of you watching, and some of you who listen to my radio show every Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. at linewsradio.com. That would be Eastern Standard Time. Check it out. You can listen to it anywhere there's Wi-Fi, anywhere there's internet, on your phone, on your computer. LI, that's for Long Island, newsradio.com. No spaces, linewsradio.com. Some of you, you're just not going to be happy enough. They could list 65 different politicians. They could, we got Pritzker. We've got everybody. Hold on, stick around. I got more.
Corrupt judges, broken families, families torn apart. This isn't justice. If you've been wronged by the system, join us. Don't stand alone. Hi, I'm Gary Jacobs, president of Americans for Legal Reform. We're the oldest legal reform group in the United States. The justice system in the United States should be transparent, fair, and open to everybody and accessible. Unfortunately, many times that's not the case. At Americans for Legal Reform, we are here to help. Join the movement. Visit AmericansForLegalReform.com and help reform the system before it fails you.
Hi, my name is Elena Ruseva, aka Megalangela. Please check my art at www.megalangela.vip.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
The Queens Village Republican Club is America's oldest Republican club, founded in 1875. Situated in President Trump's hometown in Queens, New York, we are America First MAGA Republicans, empowering fellow Republicans to get involved in the game of politics at the grassroots level. We host inspiring monthly club meetings on the first Thursday of each month at 8 p.m. For more information, please go to our website at www.qvgop.org.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
Corporate transfer. Fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the Kevin Downey Jr. podcast. Be free, stay free. Coming at you live, unless you're watching it later, from the America First Warehouse, the number one most patriotic venue in the galaxy. This place saved my life during the darkest days of the Biden administration when the FBI is poking around, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. Folks, we've got a lot going on. Look at this. This is crazy business all over the place, and I really like it. I really like what's going on. I'm talking about Trump. He's embracing the idea of a special counsel to look into 10 years of the DOJ being, I don't know, Gestapo-ish, being very Gestapo light, maybe not light, maybe just not as bad as Gestapo, but they're on their way. No, you just don't go full Gestapo. You don't go full Gestapo. You go, you never go full Gestapo. They were heading that direction. They were politicized, and that's how it starts. You don't just start kicking in doors and throwing people into camp, although that was part of what they were going to do. This, I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, they're following the playbook of every dictator that's ever existed. And it doesn't matter what flavor of tyranny they have. You've got your Nazis, you've got your fascists, you've got your communists. We helped the communists kill the Nazis. Who knew? Who knew communism was going to become so big and so dangerous? Well, we knew, but you know why we did it? Figure, let the Germans and the Soviets beat each other up. Why should we have to lose 1 million men? And that's why they did it. And then, of course, the Cold War began. We knew there would come a point where we were not going to be friends with the Soviet Union. But, as I said, Trump is coming around on this Epstein thing. I don't think he realized just how important it was to a lot of us. All right? Look at this. Look at this. He says, he's talking about how the DOJ is looking into, of course, they're looking into James Comey and John Brennan. James Comey, former head of the FBI, and John Brennan, the communist voting leader of the CIA. How did he get that job? Was there no did no one else want it? Is there no vetting? Folks, I am hearing, and people, I've got a big bug up my keister about 9/11. I'm hearing John Brennan was working for the CIA when he said to a handful of those hijackers, I'll get you visas, I'll get you into the States. Tell me he didn't know what they were going to do. Tell me he didn't know what they were going to do. Anyway, so Trump's being interviewed about these special investigations, DOJ looking into the DOJ and the FBI. Then, unprompted, this comes from Just the News, unprompted, I should read my broadcaster's voice, unprompted, Trump then volunteered on his own that a special prosecutor, if one is appointed by the DOJ, to look at the weaponization could also delve into anything credible on Jeffrey Epstein and his files to make sure Americans have a full accounting. All right? He's coming around, folks. He's coming around. He just said, I support a special prosecutor to look into the Jeffrey Epstein situation along with other topics. He realizes how important it is to some of us. Not everyone. I'm here, I was on live from Studio 6B last night. I'll be on again tonight. And of course, Friday from here, the America First Warehouse. That's 3 nights this week. And some people just let it go. Let it go. And as I mentioned, someone texted my number. So at the radio station, there's a number you can call, you can text us, whatever you want, email. But you can call and text, that's half the fun. And just let it go, no one cares. And I see why people are like that, but I just can't let something go. We have to know. Were we lied to? Let's say it was just Prince Andrew, Bill Gates, Bill Clinton. Okay, then we should know that. We should know. I know what we're all thinking. We've all been fed this big story. 1,000 girls and all the politicians and all the elites, all the Bohemian Grove crew showed up to jump on little kids. Okay, well then, let's see. Let's see. Now, everyone said, well, he made videos of all these rich people. He had cameras all over his house. Well, maybe. Now I don't trust anything. I don't trust anything. And if those videos did exist, I don't trust that they're still around. Why would the FBI leave that? The FBI was protecting these people. When Joe Biden was president, this never came up. He was never like, we should delve into these Epstein files. Now, is it possible Hunter Biden's in there? Wonk, wonk. Could be. Let me know who you think. You know what? You can email me right now if you want, KDJ at Kevin Downey Jr. Show. I'll get that the fastest, and I'll read it on a break. Tell me what you think. Is Hunter Biden on that list that doesn't exist? I don't think the list exists because, as I've said, criminals don't keep lists. Oh, here's my list of kitty diddlers, and here's my list of people who buy the cocaine. And no, they don't do that. Keep it all in their heads. Otherwise, you go to jail. If you have a list, you go to jail. Al Capone went to jail based on the fact that his banker, he would take numbers from one book with the date, and just to be clever, he'd move them to another bank account. But if you see on August 3rd, Al Capone's banker took 1.2 million, let's say, from this account and started a new account here, 1.2. You go, well, and he closed this one. Well, that's him, and they got him. That's one of the ways they got him. One of the ways they got him. I know a little bit about the gangster era, and that's how they snagged him, because his banker was an idiot. Idiot. I think idiot is Polish for idiot, I think. I don't know. I was married to a Polish woman. I was called some names that I never really, got translation on. Idiot is, I think, one of them. That's what I think. Now, look at this. Yet another Joe Biden toady took the Fifth Amendment in front of Congress. They want to know who knew that Joe was pooping his pants and who stepped in to take his place. We've got some names. One of them, I just want to know what I'm talking about. I think it's Anita Dunn. Let me look. I'll have this next week for sure. She might be the woman who said, there's two people I love, Mother Teresa and Mao Zedong. Well, I'll meet you halfway. I'll give you the Mother Teresa. Anyone who says, I love Mao Zedong, how is that person even near the White House? They should have something set up. I would love to see, here's what we need from AI, commie detectors. Commie detectors. If you're a full-blown commie and you walk near the White House, you just burst into flames and everyone laughs. Everybody laughs because killing communists, it should be illegal because they're not humans. I don't know what they are. They are anti-human monsters. They're filthy. I was doing a show in Saratoga Springs, a couple of hipsters down front, and I asked them whether they would live in Troy. And I said, that's kind of a bad neighborhood. I said, yeah. I said, oh, so you're like the white kids coming in to gentrify and chase out people who live here. And they're like, I said, you're raising the rents for the people who've been there for generations, aren't you? And I mentioned I don't like Mom Downey, commie Mom Downey. He goes, well, I like him. Why not? I said, because he's a filthy effing communist. And this hipster goes, little communism's not bad. It's pretty good. And I said, yeah, 100 million people killed in the previous century. Hey, a little communism, maybe only 40 million this year. Huh? What do you think about that? And he just went, and everyone laughed, and he shut up. That's how you shut down a communist. There are other ways, too, but that involves firearms, and I don't recommend that, because even though we don't see them as humans, the law does. Remember, folks, if you take anything away from this show today, don't trust the communists. Keep an eye on them, but don't get violent. They are the ones getting violent, and no one cares. No, because they're always going to fall back. Never mind that Antifa, those blue-haired girls in Antifa and the boys who want to be girls, they burned D.C. for 4 nights. No one seems to know that because the Operation Mockingbird media mud puppets would not even talk about it. Mostly peaceful protests today, fiery but mostly peaceful. Hey, look, people getting shot in Chaz or Chop, whatever it is. I was shocked. I couldn't believe that this nation allowed a bunch of hippies, call them what you will, to take over a part of a city. That's when I realized that communism is way deeper than I thought. And that mayor said, it's a summer of love. Hey, only 4 people got killed and only the 6 women raped in your Chaz. Or was it 2 people? I forget. People raped and murdered in Chaz or Chop, whatever the animals are calling it now. But when that was allowed to happen, I was like, okay, this is worse than I think. Now, Ted Wheeler was the mayor of, I want to say, Portland or Seattle, I forget. I get those two urinals mixed up. There was a woman who was the mayor of the other town, and she was the one. Summer of love, it's going to be great. And then when the animals came to her house in the suburbs, she's like, all right, had enough. Tomorrow we bulldoze it. And at like 6 a.m., here come the cops with their billy clubs and their bulldozers. We're tearing down Hippie Town. And there it goes. Oh, what happened to the summer of love that came for your head? Came for your head, you filthy Marxist, and you bailed. You bailed. Marx, Nazi, when you say Nazi, that has such a negative ring, and it should. Communist needs to have a worse ring, because it's worse. More people have died under communism than the Nazis. And believe me, to me, they're the opposite sides of the same tyrannical coin. The same tyrannical coin. Oh, you know what? So remember that gender fluid thingamabob I talked about, the transamabob? I'm doing this to stop the, what was it? Stop the had a word. Doing this to stop the, I forget. Wanted to stop the, whatever is bothering him. Corruption, stop the corruption. What is the corruption? There is none. There is none. Folks, there's some MK Ultra nonsense going on. The left, the people, the politicians, the idiots on the news, all the reptiles, they're saying, we got to fight. We got to fight. And you say this, and enough crazy people will respond. All right? Most, or at least a big chunk of these idiots going after ICE agents, a lot of them got the trans bug. So here's what I think. Here's what you do. You say you're trans, you're a victim, and those MAGA hats, those GOPers, they're the oppressors, and you're the oppressed. Man, oh man, someone should do something. Man, we should fight. We should get in their faces at the gasoline stations. If you see them in a restaurant, chase them out. And that was years ago. Now what are they saying? They're saying rip the mask off those ICE agents, give us their names, and we want to go get them. Some Democrat from California, I forget her name, she had a business card of one of the guys and doxed him, said, look, see that? That's him. And someone chucked a rock at him and smashed his hand to pieces. Blood all over the place, blood everywhere. Folks, we've got one more segment on the Kevin Downey Jr. podcast. Be free, stay free. Stick around. I've got more.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
Are you a musician, comedian, actor, filmmaker, or artist who stands for traditional American values? Do you believe in the preservation of our nation, our culture, and our freedoms? If you share our passion for America and want to use your talents to make a difference, we want to hear from you. Our mission is clear. Through the arts, we uphold the principles of freedom, faith, family, and the American spirit. It's time to step up to the mic and make your voices heard. So contact us at AmericanConservativeArtists.com.
Good morning. It's me, Joe the Box, wearing my Border 911 hat signed by Tom Holman, Rodney Scott, and Sarah Carter. The country has had enough. The American Horror Story is over. Border 911. Tom Holman is coming through. My brother's son, my friend's children. We're done with it. 100,000 were lost lives every single year. God bless you, Tom.
The Queens Village Republican Club is America's oldest Republican club, founded in 1875. Situated in President Trump's hometown in Queens, New York, we are America First MAGA Republicans, empowering fellow Republicans to get involved in the game of politics at the grassroots level. We host inspiring monthly club meetings on the first Thursday of each month at 8 p.m. For more information, please go to our website at www.qvgop.org.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
The America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
fourth and final segment of the Kevin Downey Jr. podcast, Be Free, Stay Free, coming at you live from the most patriotic venue in the galaxy, the America First Warehouse. Folks, if you're on Long Island, you haven't been here, come here now. Well, not now, but check out the schedule. Check out the schedule. See what's going on. You're going to love it here. You're going to make friends forever. Friends who share your values. Friends are not going to spit on you because you didn't vote for a Marxist. You didn't vote for some, Kamala Lala Ding Dong. Because you know what's what? Come here. Make some friends, hang out. It's great. And the barbecue's always, I like to come when there's a barbecue. A couple of big events, July 26th and 27th, J6 events. 2 documentaries, one on 26th, one on 27th. And here's the fun part. You can come to one, you can come to the other, you can come to both. $40 gets you into both events. And it gets you lunch, barbecue lunch on both days. Check it out. Go to theamericafirstwarehouse.com. Check out events. Don't forget, you can see me tonight on Live from Studio 6B. That's on Real America's Voice. That's the network. And if you want to find it, just go to the letters LFS 6, number 6B, Live from Studio 6B. You figure it out. You know what I mean. Just take the first letter, Live from Studio 6B. So LFS 6B. There you go. And, of course, a big radio show every Monday through Friday. We're taking calls and texts for 2 hours tomorrow. It's a big day. It's a big day. Look at this. Yet another violent lefty. We're talking about lefty violence because that's pretty much all the violence there is. 99, let's go 98%. I'll be generous. I've read about 2 people said, I've had it with these protesters and drove into them. I don't know if they were being threatened or if they were just sick of them. Look at this. Keep in mind, Hakeem Jeffries is he's take off those ice masks so we can see who they are. What do you think people are going to do? What do you think people are going to do? Well, look at Tampon Tim. They don't have any ID. They show up and they're disappearing people. They're disappearing. That's one of their words. They like to take words and make them verbs when they're not. Disappear is not a verb, is it? I guess it could be. Well, disappearing. They're disappearing people. You wouldn't say that. You could say he's. I'm the disappearing lady at the magic show, but they are disappearing people. I don't think it works that way. But they're using that. Genociding. They're genociding people. They're ghettoizing. Well, the GOP ghettoizes the big cities and the black folks got to live there. Now that's all Democrats. Folks, St. Louis is a ghetto. It's a ghetto. It's horrible. I think it's had a Democrat mayor since 49, 59, I'm not sure. Detroit since 62, I know that. Philly, I think 64. Baltimore, 67, or vice versa. Chicago, coming up on 100 years. Milwaukee hasn't had a Republican since 1908. We can go on and on. When your pink-haired thingamabob-in-law says the systemic racism holds the black people back, they just let them know. Democrats have been running the big blue toilet towns for some of them. I mean, I'm 59. I was born in 65, and the last Republican in Detroit was 62. I think he left in January of 62. That's when someone else took over. Someone else. Anyway, yeah. So don't take that. If you have to have an argument with one of these idiots, go with facts. They hate that. They hate that. They just fall apart. But another violent lefty. We're talking about violence from the lefty animals, the apparatchik animals. Today, look at this. This would be the former Spokane. Is it Spokane or Spokane? I think it's Spokane. I think it's Spokane in Oregon, not Oregon. I know because I said Oregon in Oregon and I got yelled at. Look at this. Former Spokane City Council President Ben Stuckert, 53 years old. He was indicted, federally indicted, because he took part, and it says here, I love this, in a June 11 protest that spiraled into a riot. No, it didn't spiral. They went there to riot. They went there to riot. Why do you think they're bringing weapons? They're not going there to protest. If I were going to protest, I'd bring a flag, like January 6th, allegedly, if I was there. But no weapons. And they can say, well, we bring them for self-defense. Against who? There's no MAGA showing up to counter-protest to beat you up. We don't work that way. We'll defend. We'll defend. Sure, you got to. You've got to defend yourself. Well, this knucklehead, look at this. Charges range from conspiracy to assault on federal officers and obstruction. And what else did he nail him for? Physically tried to block an ICE transport bus. Holy moly, that was dumb. Tom Homan hates these people. I do too. I do too. Folks, some people are bothered. I know someone who said, I can't vote for Trump because he brings chaos. He does not bring chaos. The left brings the chaos. I mentioned this on the radio the other day. Having breakfast with, or lunch or something with a friend of mine, we're in the Cracker Barrel. And, they got a store there with toys and whatnot. And this kid's screaming because he wants a toy. And the mother's going, no. And I did. And the kid says, just give me what I want and I'll stop yelling. Well, that's the game plan for Antifa, because they're a bunch of infants. Maybe their velvet thongs are too tight around their lady nuts. I don't know. But they're very violent. And Tom Homan says we're going to punish all these people. And you have to. That's how you win. All right? Now, I know the law works slowly. But when you see some of these Tesla knuckleheads burning down dealerships, you see them getting 15 years. That's going to change some things. It's going to change something. Look at this guy. Give this guy 3 years. That's going to change something. Oh, we're going to jail. Oh, because remember, under Biden, you'd hold a riot, throw yourself a little riot, then there'd be a class action lawsuit. And then the rioters would bag $10, $12 million, split with their lawyers, split with the rest of the animals, and they'd all make mad stacks. I think Philly had to pay out twice. New York City paid out, Seattle, Portland. You riot and we'll pay you. That's how it works. Remember, folks, the ugly part of, well, not the ugly part, everything with communism is ugly, but it's all about money. It's all about money. You've got your high-ranking communists. They're the ones, like AOC, she's going to make money. And she's going to tell the lower-level ones what to do. You get out there, you riot, you fight, you do it, and we'll make money. And we'll throw you a little cash. We'll let you sue. That's what's going on. We've got, I want to get to these two things, because I think this is important, and I think these are related. Yet another Biden toady went before Congress, pleaded the Fifth Amendment. They're asking about Biden's mental acuity or lack thereof. Hey, President Drool, what's going on? WTF? And this one, Bernal, he's a bigwig. I even looked at him, Anthony Bernal. That would be Jill Biden's work husband, if you will. And maybe later on, something tells me old crab cake and the adult diapers president wasn't really providing any. So I don't know. I'm just talking out loud. I'm an idiot. But this was the first lady's bigwig, and he said, I'm pleading the Fifth. That's the second one, I think, to plead the Fifth. Why would they plead the Fifth? To protect themselves. These people are guilty, folks. This is treason. This is going to be treason. If you're the president and you're sick and I start making decisions, what is that? What do you call that? That's called me taking over the nation. That's insurrection, is it not? Just because I wasn't violent. I mean, J6 wasn't violent either, but that was an insurrection. No. Remember, folks, the words they use, look at the words they use, because that's what they're doing. So when I hear the word genocide, I know that's on the horizon if these idiots win. I also think the Democratic Party is committing suicide. I've never seen so much stupidity, but they know Trump is angry. They know he means it. Couldn't kill him. They'll keep trying. I think he's Obi-Wan Kenobi by now. Yeah, I mean, you kill him, the country's going to go nuts, but it's only going to make him stronger, all right? Every time a Democrat gets caught throwing bombs at an ICE agent, another voter goes, ugh, this is not my Democratic Party anymore. That's what we want. And we're going to see a lot of fun stuff coming out of this. Comey, of course. Oh, Fauci's been referred for criminal prosecution again by Senator Rand Paul from the great state of Kentucky. And I just hate that guy. I had a caller today, never heard of him before. He just called in, and he said he was healthy, but he was forced to get 2 shots. And wouldn't you know it, he got prostate cancer. So I did a story a couple weeks ago about a report in Japan. The more shots you get, the sooner you will die of what? Prostate cancer. 3 or more, that's the danger zone. This gentleman had 2. He's got prostate cancer. The outlook is good. But come on, turbo cancers? Oh, look at the tinfoil hat, KDJ. You know what you're talking about. Oh, I do, though. I do. They don't. Yeah, I had a debate with my cousin, and she goes, well, I don't believe anything you say. I said, well, you know what? You don't get a radio show by being wrong. You don't get to, just talk about lies and conspiracy theories. No. There are reports. People are dying of cancer. Now, are they getting it from the shot, or is the shot just making it worse? We don't know. But if you got 3 or more shots and you're a man, I'd go check out the prostate, unless you're a trans dudette, you're a lady prostate, whatever you call it. But here's how I know things are getting ugly for the Bidens. The one guy who should shut up has come out. That would be Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden. He came out and he did a podcast that no one's heard of, and he's attacking people. So he goes, we lost the last election because we didn't remain loyal to the leader of the party. That's his dad. And we went in a different direction. We had an incumbent, and we blew it, and it's everyone's fault. It's not my dad. It's everyone else's fault. Why is he doing this? Because it's getting close to home. It's getting close to home, folks. Now, Hunter has nothing to worry about. The one pardon that was signed by President Fingerdiddle Joe Biden was that of his son. I heard the other family members, he didn't sign those. They might be in trouble. If they can prove the auto pen was being run by someone else, big trouble. But the fact that Hunter Biden, who took bribes, who was nailed for tax evasion, who was nailed for buying a gun while he was smoking the crack doobies, or however you smoke. I don't think you smoke crack doobies, do you? No, you just smoke crack in a pipe. You know, all this stuff. The biggest loser on the planet. And he's coming out now to do podcasts. He's defending the family name. He's scared. They had a meeting, big powwow, and Jill said, oh, someone's got to go out there and defend us. And there you go. There's Hunter Biden. He's done. Maybe I'll try to get him to come on my podcast. I would love a little Hunter Biden action here. But, yeah, he's going crazy. Look at this. He's blaming everyone but himself. He says, that's my position. We had the advantage of incumbency, and they chased my dad out, and blah, blah, blah. And he said the Democratic Party literally melted down. No, the Biden family is a big reason that the Democratic Party is going into the toilet. It's in the toilet. It's been there. Folks, I'll see you next week or tonight on Live from Studio 6B. Be free, stay free.